Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to the JabJab show. Yes, I'm being all scary now because it's now Halloween. I just wanna do something in the theme. So I've got with me a bat. There's a bat flapping about and so on. I've been all scary in that. Also got a balloon. Oh, there's several balloons, but there's one of them. Woo! Got a ghosty on there. So let's put him over there. A bit noisy. And also got these little two chaps here. You might not know these from Pac-Man. But it's not panicking, they're not real ghosts. They are egg cups. I know it's just ruined the illusion for you now. But yeah, spirit of Halloween and all that. So I thought to myself, what can I do for the channel? So it might be seem obvious, but I'll watch Halloween 1 and 2. Okay? The John Carpenter and Rick Rosenthal films, from the original series. It might be a little obvious, but basically, it just puzzles me when there's events, like film events around Halloween. I don't actually show the Halloween films. It's really weird. They've got say The Exorcist playing in recent years, The Shining, Nightmare on Elm Street, and so on, which are very, obviously really classic films in the horror genre. Don't get me wrong, but they're not, it just seems a bit odd to not have Halloween playing anywhere. I mean, I don't know, maybe where you live and stuff there might be, but you know what, it's just found a bit odd. So anyway, to redress the balance, I'm doing, doing Halloween. So I've been using, I've got this here, Halloween box set, Anchor Bay. Any connoisseurs of films might know Anchor Bay do really good film packages for the horror films. I've also got the Halloween 25th anniversary DVD. You can probably get them on Blu-ray now, but that's what I used anyway. Unfortunately, because of how I'm having to work with schedules and whatever, I want to get both my retrospective of Halloween 1 and 2 out on Halloween. As it looks like at the moment, I'm getting this one on Halloween, and I'll soon, as quick as I can, get the second one on Halloween. I've made a load of notes and stuff. I need to compile them and obviously film and edit and so on. So we'll be getting Halloween 2 retrospective out in the next day or two. So as I said, this is my retrospective on Halloween, and there's going to be a few spoilers in here, so just let you know now, okay? So Halloween came out in 1978, directed by John Carpenter, who also co-wrote and he composed the music and so on. Donald Pleasance gets the top billing in this. He's in this one. It's also the film debut of Jamie Lee Curtis. So after the title sequence, which consists of a slow pushing in on a jack-o'-lantern as the title credits happen, and the iconic John Carpenter score for the film. Once all that's done, we open the story, and in 1963, it's a very part we were looking through someone's POV at a house. We're creeping around the house and looking at all the rooms. There's one room in particular. There's a couple making out, and they get off the settee and they go out of the room. The POV then goes to the front of the house, looks up, see a bedroom light go out, and then the intense music starts. We move back to the house, so the back of the house, I should say. Go into the kitchen, get a knife, and the POV then sees the boyfriend toddle up downstairs. So he didn't really last very long, did he? But he toddles off downstairs out of the house, and we then go up the stairs, see a mask on the floor. Put it on, so you get little eye holes like that, and then see a naked chick, about 20-ish, I don't know, pushing her hair and so on. She turns around, sees someone looking at her. She goes, "Michael," like that, and stab, and we even turns around, slash in motion, much like Psycho. One of the many Alfred Hitchcock references in the film. She's obviously leathered. Go back out there, calmly walks down the stairs, goes out of the house, a car pulls up, a couple get out, I'm guessing the parents, and I think it's a dad, pulls off the mask, and like a reverse shot shows the audience the 6-year-old Michael Myers in a clown costume with a knife in his hand, all bloodied and what have you, and the parents just looking at him and so on, as the camera pulls back like an aerial shot basically, and that's the classic opening to Halloween. Up until the removal of the mask, this is all sensibly one shot. There's actually 3 cuts in there. This is all achieved by the Panaglide Cinecam shot, which is used quite a lot in the film, and this sequence really sets the tone of the film. Using it as it is, gives it a creepy kind of voyeuristic aesthetic to everything playing out. We then cut to October 30th, 1978. It introduced Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis. He's in a car with a female psychiatrist. They're on the way to get Michael Myers out of the place he's in order to put him on trial and so on. So they're on the way there. He mentions Michael hasn't spoken for 15 years. It's got a little backstory of who he is and so on. They come to a point where they stop the car. Dr. Loomis gets out. To open this gate so it can't go through. All of a sudden, a figure or the shape jumps on top of the car while he's doing this, and basically scares off the female psychiatrist. She gets out of the car. He gets in the car and drives off. Dr. Loomis legs it back, and he realizes, he thinks it's Michael Myers, and he announces the evil has gone. Thus begins a cat and mouse chase between the two of them. And given John Carpenter's penchant for using the wide-angle lenses and the cinemascope formats, it gives everything a larger-than-life feel. The use of the POV technique used in this film, is been used in countless horror films, even to this day. Most notably the Friday the 13th and the Evil Dead films. The Halloween film is considered the one that kicks out the whole slasher horror subgenre. There's mention on Halloween 2 commentary that between 1980 and 1983 there's something like 100 horror films that came out during that period, all based on the strength of Halloween and the inspiration behind it. Mostly like with a straight to video. I can't name them all obviously. They usually involved a masked killer who's got some kind of power tool or weapon, going around killing horny teenagers and anyone who gets in the way. Much has been said about Jamie Lee Curtis's character Laurie Strode in this film, though she stays alive throughout, and all her mates get killed off. Laurie Strode is a shy, bookish kind of character, teenager, and her mates are more outgoing and promiscuous, and a lot of people see this as a comment on the immorality of youth, as in and by indirectly creating the horror movie trope as if you have sex in a horror movie you die. In fact, John Carpenter and the other people involved in the film say this was never their intention to do this. Just see Laurie as more aware of what's going on. She's more of a watcher, much like Michael Myers. It's meant, John Carpenter says this on the commentary. She's more aware of what's going on, and the others are just too preoccupied with what they're doing to see what's really happening. Another aspect of the film that's talked about is the level of blood and gore and the nudity, and you really don't see a lot. It's all down to the power of suggestion. It's much like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You think of that film, if you're not really au fait with that film, you think, it's the Laurie title, it's a horror film, it's this and that. You see the picture of Leatherface and so on. You think, but there really is not a lot of gore going on in there. Much like the original Halloween. As the sequels wore on, they upped the ante on the blood and gore as they went on. I personally feel the power of suggestion in this film is done so strongly. It's down to the shots and the sequences, how they're directed. Like I say, there's a lot of Steadicam shots. It's used to creep along, ratchets up the tension as it creeps along with the characters, including Michael Myers himself, in order to tell a story. And because of the wide cinematic Panavision format, compositions of certain events, force you, the viewer, to that search for fame, foreground and background, to see if you saw something or not. There's some masterful filmmaking going on here. And John Carpenter has mentioned on the commentary, he has used a lot of techniques from Alfred Hitchcock, most notably from Psycho. The most obvious one for me is during the opening sequence where the POV shifts to the hand stabbed away with a knife. He also goes on to mention that he uses the wide-angle lasers at the start of the film, and he gradually, closes in on certain characters to get that whole claustrophobic feeling. Ends up, Jamie Lee Curtis in the closet, so that kind of thing. I personally feel he uses it to great effect as well in Assault on Precinct 13, his previous film. Halloween's influence on the horror genre is still being felt today. Let's say, take the Paranormal Activity series, for example. Whatever you feel about the series and the quality of the films and, the story points, there for another video. I still feel that they use wide-angle compositions really well. You're in the cinema and it's on this particular shot. The rumbling starts happening. People in the audience, I'm aware, they're starting to mutter to themselves, they're getting a bit nervous and whatever. And my eyes, personally speaking, search the frame for anything that's moving and so on. Filmmaking and storytelling is very economic and, I feel very effective as well. I mean, it was written in 10 days, it was filmed in 20. The opening sequence took 2 days to film. It's actually the last film they shot. They had to do up the house, as you saw it in the opening shot. The budget was $300,000. They didn't have many lights. It's mentioned on the commentary that a lot of the sequences in the cars were shot at night. It's using a technique known as poor man's process, which is where you use a stationary car to film, and you use certain techniques in order to create the illusion that the car is moving. In the film, you can use, like, say, the engine noises. You can get the driver to do that. Usually down a straight road, a lot of the older films use that while they're using the rear projection going on. Hitchcock even uses this technique. You can have, say, someone holding a light and physically doing that over the car. Just doing that, to get the, you're going past street lights as you're driving. You can also get various crew members to also bounce the bonnet to, give it a little kind of going down a bumpy road technique. Young actors like Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee approached for the role of Dr. Loomis. They're both turning it down due to the low pay. I mean, Christopher Lee had told John Carpenter a while later that he feels it's the biggest regret of his career. I feel Donald Pleasance is excellent in this film. He creates an iconic character that becomes more and more integral to the Halloween series. I mean, he's got some great dialogue here, and he's also, he comes a little bit unhinged in his obsession with the pursuit of Michael Myers. Everyone else plays a role really well in this film, including like Jamie Lee Curtis, who's excellent as Laurie Strode. Despite she, on the contrary, she talks about her neuroses and self-doubt and insecurities she had on the set, which is kind of understandable given it is her first film. Another character of the film which I feel deserves an honourable mention is the music. There's about 3 or 4 different tracks, played throughout various points. There's the classic theme tune. There's also the what I call the chase music, which is just starts off a simple down. It's a stabbing of a single piano note. It's simple yet very effective. I mean, John Carpenter refers to it as plays out like a heartbeat. Halloween is such an iconic film, not just a horror film. I mean, whether at the time it was conscious of it or not, it did give a suggestion that there was going to be a sequel, because when the last shot of Dr. Loomis, when he's on the balcony looking down where Michael Myers fell, he should still be there, but he's not. He kind of gives it a look like kind of expected him not to be there, and he kind of gives it a little nod and saying, "Yeah, I know you're out there somewhere," which has since become the suggestion of a further film in the series has since become a staple of the horror movie genre. This film is right up there. It's one of my favourite horror films. There's some indelible images and great sequences in there. The Michael Myers when he slowly emerges from the darkness, behind people. And there's also the shot where a kid looks through the blinds at the house across the way, and the shape is just saying, looking right back at him. It's really chilling. It sends shivers down the spine just saying that. With all the power suggestion and everything mentioned before, no matter how many times I see it still works. Okay, so them's my opinions. What's yours? And yours and everyone else's. So let me all know down below in the comment section. As I said, I like to get the Halloween 2 video uploaded as soon as I can. Just let me know what your experiences and what you feel about this film. What are the other films in the series that you like? Also, what do you do for the next Halloween film? It's going to be Halloween 3, the reboot. What do you think they should do for that one? Just let me all this down below in the comment section. Like, subscribe, comment, and tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.